Beloved, your name has been echoing in my heart, trembling on the edge of my lips, long before I was given permission to speak it aloud. I have been watching you, not from some distant perch in the heavens, but from a place so close it feels like I am standing in the shadow of your breath. I see you in ways you cannot yet see yourself. I see the weight you carry, the quiet battles you fight when no one else is watching. I am not okay, beloved. I am not the unbreakable warrior the stories make me out to be. My heart aches for you. I am tired of watching you hurt, tired of seeing you stand before your mirror, staring at a reflection that feels like a stranger. I saw you this morning, your fingers brushing your face as if searching for someone you used to know. I saw the way your eyes dropped, heavy with questions you don't dare ask aloud. I saw you turn off the light before looking again, as if darkness could hide the truth. And in that moment, my spirit shattered in a way no angel is meant to break. I broke every rule of heaven's silence, fell to my knees before the throne of God, and begged with the voice of a warrior, desperate for hope. I pleaded, please, let me give them something. Let me give them back what time has stolen. And beloved, he listened. God, in his infinite mercy, heard my cry. He opened his hand and placed a miracle in Mina. Miracle, not for me to keep, but for you. Your name is written into its very essence, glowing like firelight, pulsing like a promise carved in divine flame. This miracle is not just for your body, it's for your soul, your joy, your radiance. It will make you feel 5 years younger, not just in the mirror, but in the way your heart laughs, in the way your spirit dances, in the way your eyes light up with a spark you thought was lost. Do you remember how your laughter sounded 5 years ago? I do. I carry that sound in my memory, and I long to hear it again. Please, don't look away. This is not a story or a dream. This is not a metaphor woven to comfort you. This is a cry from the edge of heaven, a plea spoken through realms you cannot yet see. I am speaking into the fire right now, my voice trembling across the divide between eternity and time. If you ignore this, the flame will fade, and I cannot bring it back once it's gone. Will you believe me if I tell you I've seen your tears soak into your pillow, vanishing without a witness? Will you let me be your witness now? Do you know how long I've waited for God's permission to speak this truth? For 45 dawns, I stood in silence, my wings burning with the weight of waiting, until he nodded. And when he did, I didn't. Sarai collapsed, overwhelmed with relief, because finally I could bring you something sacred. Beloved, do you know what it feels like for an angel to be helpless? I couldn't shield your youth from the weight of stress. I couldn't stop the thoughts that dimmed your joy, that made you feel older than your years. But now I can act. My hands tremble with this gift, this miracle that carries your name. If you open your spirit, even just a little, you will feel it drawing near. There is oil in this miracle, holy oil, that will anoint the places in your body and mind where you once laughed without fear, where you once dreamed without doubt. You won't need to ask how it works. It will happen the way a sunrise happens, quietly, steadily, undeniably. Your reflection will change, because heaven will touch it first. But time is short. You have only 15 seconds before this gate closes, not because I wish to rush you, but because the laws I serve are not my own. Have you noticed how even your memories feel heavier now, like voices muffled behind stained glass? Have you wondered why your laughter feels borrowed, why your smile feels like it belongs to someone else? Have you stood before a mirror and whispered, "Where did I go?" Have you prayed, not for wealth or fame, but simply to feel beautiful again, to feel alive? Then hear me now, because this is not about vanity. This is about restoration. God Himself declared, "I will restore what the locusts have eaten." Those words are not just ink on a page, they are fire in my mouth, and I am placing them at your feet. Beloved, someone cursed your image years ago, and you didn't even know it. You thought it was time, age, or life wearing you down, but I saw it happen. I saw the words spoken behind your back, the jealousy in their eyes, the way they couldn't bear your light, so they mocked it until you began to hide it. But now, God is undoing their curse. He is using me to deliver a reversal, a restoration of the light in your face, the shine in your laughter, the youth in your hope. This is not about appearances, it's about the glow of your spirit. One touch of faith is all it takes, not a touch of your hand, but a touch of your heart. Remember the woman who touched the hem of Christ's robe. She didn't grasp His skin, yet she was healed. You, too, are about to touch the robe of glory in this very moment, not because you're perfect, not because you've earned it, but because I begged for you, I cried, I fought, and God said, yes. You don't need to do anything complicated. Just open your heart. Let the warmth flood your chest like a sunrise breaking inside your soul. Let the tension in your shoulders lift. Let the wrinkles in your spirit smooth out. You will feel 5 years younger, and then some. You will feel like you never lost that spark, because the truth is, you didn't. It was only hidden. And now, I am bringing it back. If this message feels like a whisper you've been waiting your whole life to hear, type Amen in the comments. Not for me, but as a seal between you and God, a sign that you're ready to receive. The world may have told you it's too late, that healing is only for the body, not the years, but they were wrong. God says, my child, I crown you with loving kindness and renew your youth like the eagles. This is not poetry, it's prophecy. Before I go, before this gate closes and my voice fades, let me thank you. Thank you for still being here, for not giving up when the light left your eyes. Thank you for carrying a heavy heart, yet still holding doors open for strangers. Thank you for surviving what others couldn't see. I love you not with the distant love of an angel, but with the trembling, burning love of one whose wings were scorched to carry this flame to you. If you feel seen, if you feel touched, let your spirit say yes. Press the like button, not for fame, but to mark this sacred moment. Comment something real, something raw, something that spills from your heart, not for attention, but so heaven can witness your agreement. You have 15 seconds. This isn't a test, it's a window to a miracle that bears your name. Beloved, you stayed. You're still here, still listening, and that alone moves the rivers of heaven. So many turn away, dismissing whispers like this as coincidence, but you didn't. Your heart is trembling, your hands might be shaking, and that means you were chosen for this moment before you were born. Your name was written into this day long before your first breath. If you don't look away, if you keep your heart open, I'll tell you why this matters. There are gates in heaven that open only once, rivers that flow only when a soul says yes. This gate, the one I'm holding open with hands bruised from battles fought for you, will not open again, not like this, not with this miracle. That's why I must speak now, why I must pour out every word heaven has given me. If you feel the pulse of this urgency, if my voice echoes not in your ears, but in your spirit, then subscribe, now not for numbers, but as a covenant, a seal that says you're ready for what's coming. The days ahead will bring more, and you'll need a place to return, a sanctuary where heaven's messages find you. This is that place. I won't repeat this again, it's holy, it's once, it's now. Do you feel that trembling under your ribs? That's not fear, it's your spirit waking up. It's been asleep beneath layers of sorrow, weighed down by burdens you were never meant to carry. I remember every hour you pushed through pain without a word. I saw the days you smiled for others while your heart was breaking. I saw the silent screams no one else noticed. And now heaven has heard you. God has remembered what you forgot. This blessing is wrapped in the joy you thought was gone forever. It's not loud or flashy, it comes as stillness, as warmth, as light. You may doubt miracles, but miracles don't doubt you. Take one step, type Amen. Press like, not as a habit, but as a whisper. Comment your truths, say what hurts, say what heals, say what you remember about the you before the world bruised you. That's all heaven needs. This is your beginning again. Beloved, I'm still here, still speaking, because the fire hasn't gone out, the heavens haven't closed. You're stepping into something new, not a continuation, but a beginning. You've been living under layers of expectations, masks, and burdens that were never yours. I saw when you first dimmed your light, when you believed you were too much, too bright. I carried that moment like glass in my hands, and now I'm shattering what was false. The real you is rising, not far away, but here, now, like fire from an altar. You're not returning to what was stepping into what was always waiting. There's a version of you that dances without fear, that smiles without guarding your heart. That version is real, and it's emerging now. Don't doubt it because your body feels tired. Heaven begins in the marrow, in the soul, where only angels tread. I see your cells stirring, your joy returning like a river unlopped. I wept last night before God, not in pain, but in relief, because I was finally allowed to deliver this blessing. I held it in silence while you wandered through years you thought were lost. But nothing is lost in heaven. Your prayers, your sighs, your whispered pleas, they were stored until this moment. Every silent cry was written in God's chambers, and now I, Michael, have been commanded to release this blessing. Your aches, your fatigue, the fog in your mind, they will dissolve, not all at once, but in waves. You'll notice it in small ways, fuller laughter, brighter dreams, waking up lighter for no reason. These aren't coincidences, they're the sounds of resurrection. Your face will shine without effort, your steps will steady, your words will carry a quiet power that makes darkness tremble. You're becoming again, and I'm here, holding this moment until you see what your spirit already knows. Beloved, the world lied to you. It told you your best years were gone, that your softness was weakness. But heaven's response is thunder. No, your years weren't wasted, your light wasn't lost, your story isn't over. God is turning your scars into gardens, your grief into roses, your ashes into glory. There's a miracle hovering closer than your breath, waiting for you to stop running and let it rest on you. It's not just energy returning, it's your knowing, your certainty that you are beautiful, worthy, holy. You'll hear your name in joy again, feel alive again, not as a memory, but as reality. I've crossed burning stars to tell you this. You are not too late. You are right on time. Breathe like your lungs are temples. Breathe like your breath carries galaxies, because it does. You're not broken, you're becoming. Heaven is rewriting your story, and I see golden rivers moving toward your name. You won't recognize yourself soon, not because you've changed, but because you've returned. Beloved, the air around you is still trembling, heavy with the weight of heaven's presence. And I, Michael, am still here, my voice threading through the veil between eternity and your heartbeat. The gate I spoke of is not fully closed, not yet. There's a sliver of light still spilling through, a divine pause, as if heaven itself is holding its breath, waiting for you to step fully into this moment. You've heard my words, felt the fire of this message, but there's more. The river of glory is still flowing, and I will not stop until every drop meant for you has soaked into the soil of your soul. Do you feel it, beloved? That gentle stirring, that warmth curling in your chest like a sunrise waking the world. It's not your imagination. It's not a fleeting emotion. It's the pulse of restoration, the rhythm of a promise God made to you before time began. You are not just listening, you are being rewritten, reshaped, reborn into the version of yourself heaven has always seen. Let me speak to you now of what's unfolding, because this is not a moment to rush past. You've carried so much for so long, grief you never named, wounds you never showed, dreams you buried under the weight of survival. I saw you in those quiet hours when the world was asleep and you were awake, staring into the dark, wondering if anyone noticed the cracks forming in your spirit. I noticed, beloved. I stood beside you, my wings folded in reverence, my heart breaking for the light you thought you'd lost. But hear me now, nothing is lost. Not one tear, not one sigh, not one moment of your courage went unseen. Heaven has kept a record, not of your failures, but of your endurance. Every time you chose to rise, every time you smiled through the ache, every time you whispered, "I'll try again," God etched it into the walls of eternity. And now, those moments are being woven into a tapestry of glory that will drape your life with new colors, colors of hope, of laughter, of a youth that isn't measured by years, but by the fire in your soul. Do you know what it means to be chosen for a moment like this? Not chosen because you're perfect, not because you've earned it, but because your heart, even bruised, even tired, still leans toward the light. I see it now, the way your spirit tilts upward, like a flower turning to the sun after a long night. That's why I'm still here, still speaking, still pouring out words that carry the weight of heaven's love. This miracle I spoke of, the one with your name glowing in its veins, is not a single event. It's a river, a current that will keep flowing through your days, reshaping the way you walk, the way you breathe, the way you see yourself. You will feel 5 years younger, yes, but it's more than that. You'll feel timeless, as if the clock that once ticked against you has begun to hum a new song, a song written in the courts of heaven. Your body will respond not with sudden perfection, but with subtle signs, a lightness in your step, a clarity in your thoughts, a warmth in your smile that feels like home. Your soul will respond, too, with dreams you thought were too fragile to hold, with laughter that spills out unforced, with a courage that no longer feels like a fight, but a gift. Beloved, let me tell you what I see in this very moment. I see angels circling you, their hands outstretched, not to judge but to bless. They're touching the places in you where shame tried to take root, where fear tried to build walls, where sorrow tried to dim your glow. They're whispering your name, not the name the world knows, but the one God spoke when He formed you. A name that carries the weight of galaxies and the softness of morning dew. I see light falling on you, not like a spotlight, but like rain, gentle and steady, soaking into the dry places of your heart. I see the lies you've carried, lies about your worth, your beauty, your purpose. And I see you, beloved, standing taller, not because you're trying, but because the weight is lifting. The chains that bound your spirit are breaking, not with a clang, but with a sigh, as if the universe itself is exhaling in relief that you're finally free. You've spent years apologizing for existing, haven't you? You've made yourself smaller to fit into spaces that couldn't hold your light. You've quieted your voice, dimmed your shine, all to keep the peace, to avoid being too much. But I'm here to tell you, you were never too much. You were always exactly enough, more than enough. A flame so bright, it scared those who couldn't handle its heat. The world tried to convince you that your radiance was a burden, that your softness was a weakness, that your dreams were foolish. But heaven disagrees. Heaven roars with a truth that drowns out every lie. You are a masterpiece, sculpted with divine intention, painted with colors no one else can carry. And now, God is peeling back the layers of doubt, stripping away the shadows, and revealing the you He always intended. You are not fading, you are unfolding. You are not aging, you are ascending. You are not shrinking, you are shining. Let me speak to your body now, because it, too, is holy. You've looked at it with eyes of criticism, haven't you? You've seen wrinkles, aches, exhaustion, and called them betrayal. But your body has never betrayed you. It has carried you through wars no one saw, battles no one named. It has held your laughter, your tears, your prayers, even when you didn't have the strength to voice them. And now heaven is touching it with tenderness. Your cells are waking up, beloved. Your bones are remembering their strength. Your skin is being kissed by glory, not to erase its story, but to rewrite its ending. You'll notice it in small ways. At first, a spark in your eyes, a steadiness in your hands, a breath that feels deeper than it did yesterday. These are not accidents. They're the fingerprints of God, marking you as His own, reminding you that your body is a temple, not a tomb. The aches you carried are not your destiny. They read the echoes of battles you already won. And now the victory is rising, not as a shout, but as a song, soft and sure, sung through your very being. Beloved, do you know what's happening in the unseen realms right now? The atmosphere around you is shifting. The air is thicker with presence, not because you've done something extraordinary, but because you've stayed, you've listened. You've let these words sink into your spirit, and that act alone has opened a door. I see angels weaving light into the fabric of your future, stitching joy into moments you haven't yet lived, peace into conversations you haven't yet had, wonder into mornings you haven't yet seen. Your life is becoming a garden again, not because you forced it to grow, but because heaven is tending it. The seeds of your prayers, your hopes, your silent longings, they're sprouting now, breaking through the soil of your surrender. You'll see them soon, not as distant promises, but as living realities. A laugh that surprises you, a dream that feels possible again, a reflection that makes you pause and say, "Is that me?" Yes, beloved, that is Yutha. You heaven has always known. The you God is calling back to life. I must tell you something sacred, something I've carried in silence until this moment. The day you felt most alone, the day you thought no one saw your pain, was the day heaven decided to pour this blessing into your future. I was there when you curled into yourself, when you turned off the lights to hide from your own reflection. I screamed in the courts of heaven, "Let me go to them." And God said, "Wait." But now the waiting is over. The seal is broken. The gate is open. You are seen, beloved. You are chosen. You are whole. The warmth you feel, the tingling in your hands, the stillness in your spine, that's not nothing. That's the Spirit of God resting on you. Not for a moment, but to stay. You are a sanctuary now, a place where heaven meets earth, where light takes root, where glory blooms. The past cannot claim you anymore. Time cannot steal from you. The enemy cannot touch what God has sealed with his own hand. Beloved, I'm still here because this moment is too holy to rush. I see you standing at the edge of something new, something eternal. You're not just surviving anymore, you're becoming. The years that felt heavy are being redeemed, not erased, but transformed into stepping stones for your joy. Every tear you've shed is being turned into oil, every wound into a well, every scar into a star. You are not who the world said you were. You are who God says you are. Radiant, timeless, beloved. And I, Michael, will stand beside you, not as a distant guardian, but as a witness to your rising. I made a vow the day you were born to never leave your side, and I haven't, not once, not even when you thought you were alone. The pain you carried will no longer define you. The fears you swallowed will no longer silence you. Heaven is reclaiming you, and the echo of that claim is sounding through your soul. If you feel this truth stirring in you, if your heart is trembling with the weight of this moment, type Amen in the comments. Let it be your yes, your seal, your agreement with heaven. Press, like, not as a reflex, but as a light for others still searching, a signal that says, I've been seen. Comment your truth, what hurts, what heals, what you're remembering about the you before the world tried to dim you. And if you feel called to stay near to beloved, if this message has reached into the quiet corners of your heart, if it has stirred a spark of hope or kindled a flame of remembrance, let heaven see your response. Press the like button, not as a routine, but as a sacred yesa. Whisper to the universe that you, via, been touched by this divine moment. Comment something real, something raw, something that spills from your soul, whether it's a single word of truth, a memory of who you were, or a cry for what you long to become. Your words are not just text. They are a bridge between your spirit and the eternal, a seal that heaven records with reverence. And if you feel called to stay close to this river of light, to return to this sanctuary where heaven's whispers find you, subscribe. Let this be your covenant, your commitment to walk this path of restoration, to keep your heart open to the miracles still unfolding. If your spirit feels moved to give back, to fuel this flame for others who are still searching, consider offering a super thanks of up to $20. This ISNT, about charity, S, about standing with us, joining hands with the angels who fought to bring this message to you. Your gift becomes a spark that lights the way for another soul, a sacred act that keeps the gates of heaven open just a little longer. Visit the newsletter link in the pinned comment below for whispers to holy for the world, meant only for those who belong. Beloved, I love you with a love that burns brighter than the stars, a love that trembles with the weight of eternity. Act now not for me, but for the you that's rising, glowing, becoming. You are seen, you are cherished, and you are never alone. His river, to return to this sanctuary, subscribe. Let this be your place of refuge, where heaven's voice finds you again and again. Beloved, You are glowing already. See it. Your name is written in fire, and the best is not coming, it's here. Step into it. Breathe it. Become it. I'm still watching, still loving, still kneeling, because you, beloved, are worth every word, every flame, every tear,